Good morning. Yes, you join me in my bedroom today as I wanted to share something that I thought might be super useful, and that is my morning mobility routine. And you know, this is something that I do most mornings whenever I get out of bed, just to wake up my muscles, lubricate my joints, and yeah, get the energy flowing. So if you want to amp up the well-being points, you could also do this outside, maybe catching those early morning rays of sunlight to help regulate our circadian rhythm. Maybe even better, you could do barefoot on the grass, you know, get that little bit of grounding in as well. But wherever you are, just make sure that you're wearing something comfy, that you can move in. I've still got my pajamas on, and yeah, we'll get started. Now, obviously, as I always say, I am not a personal trainer or anything even like that. This is simply to share my ideas and my routine. So with anything like this, I think it's important just to go at your own pace and to just use your own range of movement. You know, do remember that our bodies are stiffer in the mornings when we've just woken up. So we don't need to go full pelt straight away. I usually began just with standing and a few sort of neck rolls. That's really good. You know, neck half circles maybe, just maybe progressing up to, you know, looking up, looking at the corners, looking down. This is a really good one, actually, nose to shoulder. I find that's a great stretch for my neck. And then back the other way, nose to shoulder. Maybe add in some shoulder circles, going around. Oh, I can feel it a bit cricky. And then back the other way, obviously. And then, you know, you can bring in just the arms and the shoulders. And then you might want to stretch out that way. Oh, and you just feel it down here, you know, after lying flat for so many hours. It's really good just to feel the movement come back into the body and, you know, release any tension. You might also like to kind of tap yourself. This is a bit of sort of qigong therapy here, where you get the energy flowing through the body and you just sort of generally start to feel a bit lighter and a bit easier. Really good as well, just to then bring it down the body a bit. You know, you could have some stretches, some side bends, maybe rolling down. You know how they do in Pilates, where they do this full body roll, where you just tuck your chin and then you roll down one vertebra at a time until you get down as far as you can. Oh, that feels good. And then you can just hang your head, loosen off the neck. You know, I think that's the key. You know, it's just to be a bit of a rag doll, just to loosen everything up. And then don't forget the hips. You might want to bring in some hip circles, for example. So this is just about mobilization, gentle movements. This is not going for the burn. This is not high intensity. You know, if you want, you can kind of bring it up a little bit just to get some more energy going. But this is not about being aerobic. This is about stretching and gently moving. Think of it as a flow. And then, you know, to check your progress, you might even like to do a few balances. You know, how long can you stand on one leg, for example? Can you draw a little circle with your knee? Draw an imaginary circle. Squats, of course, every personal trainer's favourite. You can hold weights if you want, but actually just the action of squatting is really good. So maybe as many as you can manage. 10, 20, 30, 100. How many? That's the great thing about things like this, is that you can count. So you keep track. And I think the thing is just to try and keep the body in alignment, stand up tall. I remember my Pilates teacher always used to saying, you know, stand like a puppet on a string. You can imagine you've got this imaginary cord just pulling you up, and then everything's stacked so that your neck is above your spine, which is in line with your hips, which are over your feet. And there we go. Shake it out, shake the hands out, shake the feet out. and I feel much more awake. Do this every morning. Really good to do first thing, you know, after all, as they say, if we don't use it, we lose it. So let me know what you think. If you would have anything to add, pop it in the comments. If you've been doing any of the routines that I talk about. And of course, it would be brilliant if you could like this video, if you do like it. And of course, subscribe to our channel because it does help us to reach even more midlife wellbeing warriors, just like you. Anyway, go well. I'll see you next time.